Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the September 23rd, 2019 Shelby Township Planning Commission meeting to order. Secretary Moore, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Dallo?
Here.
Ms. DeSico?
Here.
Mr. Meredith?
Here.
Mr. Apone?
Here.
Mr. Flynn, absent. Chairman Moffett is absent. And Acting Chairman Turner?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. First is our approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of our minutes from the September 9th, 2019 meeting.
So move.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, tonight we have five site plans. The first one is site plan number 19-33. Oh, before I go any further, I want to introduce our acting planner. Julie Misich is here, associate planner Nick Fiore, and our attorney Bob Kirk. Site plan number 19-33, Dan Lorimer, Shelby National Storage Center, 6625 23 Mile Road, north side of 23 Mile Road between Van Dyke and Mound, additional storage building. Is the applicant here? Come on down. Let us know what you'd like to do. Name and address for the record. Go ahead.
Name is Jim Sharp. Address is 1750 Lakesview, Oxford, Michigan. We're the design engineering consultant. We are representing Mr. Lorimer and Mark Floria, who could not be here tonight, and Pat Lennox also was supposed to be here as well, but he had an emergency tonight. So I am proposing this on behalf of the applicant. We're looking for site plan approval for this project. This project, and you want me to go through it? However,
Give us your presentation. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sounds good. So this proposal is for a 12,750 square foot storage facility. It's going to be a single storage facility. It's an addition or a phase two, if you want to call it that, of a project that we developed back in 2016. The project's been a success so far, so they're moving into the to do this this additional structure. The area that we're proposing to build on is currently using outdoor vehicular storage for trailers, RVs, boats, those kinds of things. So we're proposing to take away about 20 spaces from there and put in this new building. It'll be a climate-controlled structure, metal paneling, metal roofing on it. There are no new utilities necessary for this. They're going to be able to utilize through the code system that they have. They'll be able to utilize the original building for access to bathrooms and the offices in there. So there won't be any sanitary sewer or any water system improvements made. There are some minor stormwater things because we are changing the impervious just slightly from the gravel parking lot that exists now to some asphalt pavement that's in there. There's an existing pond that we constructed with phase one, so these minor improvements will be directed into that storm sewer system and into the existing pond that's there. I think that's about it right now. I guess I'll just take any questions or anything that you may have.
Okay, before we do that, Mr. Fiore, you did the analysis on this. Give us your report.
So the proposed building for the site, it enhances the ability for the company to serve its customers, reduces outdoor storage that already exists there, like the applicant stated. So overall, it's a good use. As far as the site plan goes, my comments are very few. I'd like to see any easements indicated with library and page number, or if there are no easements, just indicate that on the site plan.
Okay.
Also, I want to see an exterior lighting plan for the building. Just locations of the lights and the type of lighting used would be sufficient. And then everything else can be done in building engineering phase of the project.
Okay. Is that something that, with the lighting and so forth, that could just be handled administratively?
I'll need to see that before we approve the final site plan.
Okay.
But administratively, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Question I have is there was a comment from the engineer about indicating any trash removal. How are you going to be doing the trash removal?
There is one dumpster that exists on the site from the previous facility. Our initial intent is to, if it's necessary, to increase the amount of pickups. So right now it comes through a couple times a week. If it's necessary for these additional units, we would just increase that to, 3 or 4 times, whatever was necessary. We'd prefer to do that in lieu of adding another dumpster with an enclosure and so forth on the site.
Okay, good enough. Any commissioners have any questions? Mr. Dollar?
you indicating there is no power or water or gas or anything put in this new facilities for the outside storage? Do the RVs that stored there require any charge, discharge, any?
The RVs that are there currently do not, and we're not, we will have electricity and so forth. When I say utilities, I guess I'm referring to the site utilities as far as sanitary and water main, but there will be electric and there'll be, things to heat the building and so forth. But currently, nothing is there for the RVs, no.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
That's it, thank you. Did you have a question, Ms. Moore?
No, I.
Okay. You said currently on the RV. I want to clarify it. You're not down the road going to have RVs be able to come in there and discharge sewer? Okay.
No,
You
we are
said
not.
currently, I wondered about.
Yeah, sorry. Yep. I'm just saying the existing condition is, and it's
The
going
way
to
it is
remain
what it
status
is.
quo. It's just what's going to remain out there. There's still going to be some parking for the trailers and so forth that are north of the proposed building, but we're not proposing any improvements out there.
Okay, very
Nope.
good. Any other questions or comments? All right, hearing none, a motion would be in order.
Mr. Turner,
Go ahead, Mr. Dallo.
I move to approve site plan 19-33, Dan Lorimer, Shelby National Storage Center, 6625, 23 Mile Road, parcel number 23-07-16-376-019, located north of 23 Mile Road, east of Mount, subject to the submission of a revised site plan addressing all department comments.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Dallo, supported by Commissioner DeSico. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, Commissioner Dallo.
Yes.
Commissioner DeSico.
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith.
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Commissioner Apone.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries.
Thank you
You're
very
all set.
much.
Good luck.
Have a good evening. Be in touch. Thank you.
Okay, item number 2, site plan number 19-34, Frank DePonio, Lot 7 of the Simone Industrial Drive, north side of 23 Mile Road between Van Dyke and Mound Road, multi-use building. Mr. Snyder is here, go ahead.
Good evening. Pete Snyder, Urban Land Consultants, 8800 23 Mile Road, Shelby Township, Michigan. Representing the applicant, Frank DePonio, who is in the audience with me to observe tonight. The site is 1.25 acres. It's zoned LM. It's on the north side of 23, right on the hard corner of Simone Industrial Drive and 23. And the applicant's proposing just a little bit larger than a 14,000 square foot mixed-use building. We're going to keep the interior flexible based on what market will drive putting in there. Some things that might go in there, manufacturing or warehouse, sort of a shop area, commercial/shop area, kind of like Mike's Pump just down the road, and even perhaps restaurant if there's a need for that. We've provided an estimate of square footage right now, and 35 parking spaces is the requirement. We're showing 56. That would allow us to shift some of the uses to more intensive from less intensive. It's a very straightforward site from my standpoint, and I'm certainly available for any questions you may have.
Okay, Julie, give us your report.
Actually, I have very few comments. There was an easement that was indicated on the site plan, a 10-by-10 easement. I wasn't sure what it was for. It said for a sign, but regardless, a sign wouldn't meet that location.
Right.
You know,
I think that's a
so-
leftover easement from when the Simone Industrial was developed.
Okay.
So there's no proposal for a sign there.
Other than that, there was a couple of building department comments. We're still awaiting the engineering comments, so as soon as we get those, I don't anticipate any major issues, so I'm fine with this site.
Okay, thank you. Any commissioners have any questions?
I do.
Commissioner Moore.
Hi.
Go ahead. Aye.
For you? I do. I have a question, actually a comment on the first thing that I saw. The setback on the front, it says on the plans 85 feet to center line 25 Mile Road. That should probably-
23 Mile Road.
Right, exactly. Just a small little thing, housekeeping thing, right?
Yep.
And then the other question I had for you was on the east elevation, I noticed there's painted block and brick, and on the west elevation, it's all brick. I was just curious, it's not uniform.
Yeah, the west elevation is the side that fronts on Simone Industrial Drive. The east elevation is sort of the back. I know it's technically a side yard because it's facing 23, but sort of it's more back than then, again, so we're just putting extra brick on the Simone Industrial side of the building.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Mr. Turner,
Mr.
if
Dallo?
I may, please. Mr. Schneider, it's beautiful project, beautiful location right there by Amazon. We having such a mixed use of this, and as you're indicating, if you having some commercial office, it's all fine and dandy, but a restaurant, the 35 parking, do you think that will handle the?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've done my homework. So
Thank
the
you.
required, based on the mix we're showing, is 35. We're actually showing 56. So we've got 20 extra spaces for restaurant, okay? If you packed, if there was nothing there but restaurant in the entire building, it would need 72. And that's a very long shot. It's not going to convert to a restaurant. Potentially, if there was demand for that, we could take a little slice off Unit 6 off the back and add a bank of parking back there and actually get the whole building to restaurant. There's no plan for that. I'm not submitting that. I'm just saying, yeah, that's something we thought about a good bit. We've got 20 extra spaces there built in case there is more of a demand for a more intense commercial or a restaurant.
We do need it to be successful.
We-
That's why we,
No question
as
about
long
it.
as you have room, thank you, Mr. Turner.
Let's hope you pack it, and we need more parking spaces, right?
Right.
There are certainly worse problems in the world than that,
Right.
right? So,
Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, motion would be in order.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Rapone?
move to approve site plan 19-34 for Frank DePonio, DNR Land Development LLC, parcel number 23-07-16-399-00-7, subject to submission of a revised site plan addressing all department and engineering comments.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Rapone, supported by Commissioner Dallo. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Rapone?
Yes.
Commissioner Dallo?
Yes.
Commissioner DeSico?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is our site plan number 19-36, Shelby Township Community Relations Building, Municipal Campus, east side of Van Dyke, south of 24 Mile Road, 9,852 square foot municipal building. Guess we'll go right to Julie for this
Yeah,
one.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Yes, so the township is proposing community relations building where our cable TV will be located. It's just over 9,000 square feet. It's going to be on the grounds just north of, or I should say south of the train and the police department in that cul-de-sac there, just around the bend, going to the parking lot in the rear. The facade of it matches the rest of the complex, the new buildings on the complex, and we don't have any issues with it, just very few minor comments. But other than that, the site plan looks very good.
Okay, any commissioners have any questions? Hearing none, I guess a motion would be in order.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Commissioner Moore.
I move to recommend approval to the Township Board, site plan number 19-36, to permit the development of a new Township Community Relations Building on the municipal campus site, subject to the submission of a revised plan addressing all department comments.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Moore, supported by Commissioner DeSico. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner DeSico?
Yes.
Commissioner Dallo?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Commissioner Rapone?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion carries. Next site plan is 1935, Casey Leach, the SIDOC Group Incorporated for UPS 51251 Fogg Industrial Court, north of 23 Mile Road between Shana Road and Hayes, new guard shack and additional parking. Before we begin, as I did last time, in the interest of full disclosure, I do want to say I do represent the hourly and package employees who work at UPS. I don't have any financial interest in this, but I did want to make that clear. I do believe I can be fair and impartial in making a decision, and if any of the commissioners feel I need to abstain, I'll do that, but I do believe I am able to be impartial. Okay, hearing none, I guess that means I can go ahead and do it. That's good. Okay, Petitioner is here, come on down, let us know what you'd like to do.
Good evening, my name is Casey Leach, I'm with SIDOC Group. I live at 907 West Oakley Park Road in Commerce. I'm representing UPS. They've got some representatives here if you need to ask them a couple questions too. UPS occupied the building at Fog Industrial Court last year, and they did a Phase 1 of this project. We're asking to do Phase 2 this year, which is a couple more openings in the building, associated parking for employees, and put in a guard shack. There'll be some more landscaping. Pretty straightforward project. Just keep going with what we did.
That's it? Okay. Okay, Nick, you did the review on this, so what did you find out?
As the applicant stated, this phase 2 of the project's pretty straightforward as far as providing parking and guardhouse for the project. Some of the comments I had have already been addressed and submitted as far for the Plan Commission's review, such as the exterior facade materials of the guardhouse matching the main primary structure, and indicating where the trash receptacle will be located on the property and how it will be screened. I also want to see, that there would be no outdoor storage on site, indicated on the site plan, no roof-mounted equipment, and for a change in the signage which is proposed in the site plan, that'll require a separate application. And then through the assessing department, they require that 2 parcels be combined since they are serving each other. The rest can be dealt with through engineering and building. Also noted was that barbed wire fence is not allowed in Shelby Township. An applicant stated that UPS sends them mock-ups of fencing that they use, and they can't change it. So, but it was indicated on the site plan that barbed wire is not allowed.
So they can't change it, but they are going to change it because barbed wire is not allowed, right?
Correct.
So it can be done, okay. Any other commissioners have any questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Mr. Dallo.
Just clarification, you adding more parking for employees, are you adding employees or it's just not enough for the existing employees?
I'm going to defer to the owner for, there's going to be some new employees. There will be some new employees.
Does that add also more delivery truck to the site?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Jamie Cook, 5904 Strawberry Circle, Commerce Township. To answer your question, there will be a lot of additional employees come peak time. There are several employees that are existing now and several that will come from other facilities that are already at a UPS. So to answer your question, not all, but there will be several additional employees needed, especially for a peak time. Yes.
And more delivery trucks, you're saying also?
Yes, there will be definitely more delivery trucks inside the building.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, about 40 more, is that correct? 40 more trucks will be coming down?
I believe it's, do the math here, it's about 40 to 50,
Yeah,
yes.
close to that, okay. Question I have, and it's been brought up to me a few times as I visited the building, and I guess this is more to Julie. I did mention this to Glenn last time, but it needs to be brought up again. The exit from Fog out onto 23 Mile Road it's challenging to turn left, especially during rush hour. And now they're going to be adding another 40 to 50 trucks there. They were wondering, they wanted me to ask again if there's any chance of getting a traffic signal at that road. I told them I doubt it because that's County Road Commission. And then they also mentioned a part about UPS. They had heard a rumor that the company was going to purchase land behind Kroger and run out to Hayes Road. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't heard anything about that, Chairman Rice.
Anybody at the company know about that?
About pushing it, no, not about
Okay.
pushing it. We may ask in the future if something develops there, if we could have an entrance onto Devonshire, but we're not aware of anybody pushing a road, and not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I know that they did say it's very dangerous to turn there, and they've seen a few near accidents with cars. And especially now that they're working on 23 Mile Road with the construction, it's even worse. So they wanted me to bring that to your attention. I don't know what we can do about it.
All that property is zoned multiple family behind the Kroger anyway, so I mean, if they did anything to, combine with their facility, it would have to be rezoned, but as of right now, I have not heard anything about that. And to answer your question about the light at the fog court, that would definitely be, the county would have to make that decision
Right.
about adding a light there.
Okay, just thought I'd ask, All right, thank you. Any other commissioner? Go ahead, Mr. Dello.
In reference to the light, why can't that be part of UPS investment and put the light? Because by the end of the day, this is saving their time, their driver's time and effort of these turns.
I agree with you 100%, but I don't know, is that something, I don't think we can make that a condition, can we?
No, we can't. I think maybe the best thing that we can maybe do is reach out to the county and in some way, somehow figure out the timing of the lights, that we can maybe work on that. We can ask them to coordinate those to allow some break in traffic so people can make that turn.
I just hate, since it is known by the people that work there and drive through there, it's a problem. And I'd hate for something to happen for us to say, oh, if we'd have acted sooner, we could have fixed it.
Right.
So I think we need to reach out to the county and see if they have any, maybe we can impress upon them the importance of doing that.
Yeah, I can definitely make them aware of the situation and what's coming in there, and if they can look into it.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, a motion would be in order.
Mr. Turner,
Go ahead, Mr. Dello.
I move to approve site plan 19-35, Casey Lee, UPS Shelby, Phase 2, 51251 Frog Industrial Court, parcel number 230713400062, and parcel number 230713400073, located in north side of 23 Mile Road, between Shana Road and Hayes, subject to the submission of revised site plans addressing all the department comments.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Dallo, supported by Commissioner Apone. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, Commissioner Dallo?
Yes.
Commissioner Apone?
Yes.
Commissioner DeSico?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion carries. Good luck.
Thanks, everyone.
And our final site plan, see, who needs Jerry? And these meetings move along really well when he's not here. I hope you're watching, Jerry. Okay, site plan number 19-37, Jeff DeArmond, Ram Tool and Supply Company, 50732 Sabrina Drive, south of 23 Mile Road, east of Shaner, outdoor storage.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jim Cummins with the Cummins Group, 22102 Edgewood, St. Clair Shores, Michigan. I am the architect for Ram Tool. Mr. Chairman, we're here this evening to seek approval for outdoor storage of new construction materials. Those materials consist mainly of rebar, reinforcing mats, brick, rigid insulation. Matter of fact, the operation is very, very similar to the Boomer Company, which is located just around the corner on Rizzo Drive. For all practical purposes, they both handle basically the same materials. The outdoor storage area will be surrounded with a 6-foot-high fence and gates. A little bit about Ram Tool. Ram Tool is not a tool company. They are a supplier and a service company for the construction industry. Have sold over 1,600,000 line items, over 200,000 hard-to-source materials, provided over 590,000 Ram Tool truck deliveries, servicing over 44,000 job sites with over 98% order accuracy. And over 93% of all their deliveries are made within 12 hours of order. They have currently 43 branches in 16 states, and Shelby Township will be their first location in the state of Michigan. We're excited that they've chose Shelby Township to come into, and So we seek your approval this evening and respectfully ask your consideration in approving this special land use.
Thank you. Okay, Nick, over to you for your report.
Typically, outdoor storage of this nature is a special land use in the district, but judging by the surrounding uses that are all light manufacturing in nature, we decided that it was more of just a site plan modification to the original site would be able to address this. And with that being said, the site plan states the fence is going to be 8 feet, or the fence gate is going to be 8 feet. However, that was addressed by the applicant, that it'll be 6 feet in height, and it'll be featured on the site plan as well. Other than that, a variance will be required in order to reduce the parking requirements. Alternatively, the fence can be moved south or east toward the property line in the rear to make way for those 8 parking spaces that will be needed to meet the minimum. So whichever one the applicant sees fit, it's fine with me. Just know that a variance will be required at the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Yes, we understand that. And of course, we're not taking out any of the pavement that's there for the 42 current spaces, but we will be 8 spaces short based on the code of ordinances. However, based on their employee load and the amount of people that visit the site today, it would be highly unlikely that they would actually exceed the use of more than 28 spaces. And if they should ever have a parking space, as your assistant said, planner, that simply move the gate back to make up for those 8 spaces.
Okay. That's it? All right. Before I forget, I guess we do need Jerry here. I forgot to have everybody sign in on the sign-in sheet, so make sure you do that before you leave. Anybody have any questions? All right, hearing none, a motion would be in order.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a
Go ahead.
motion to approve site plan 19-37 for Jeff Jarman, Ram Tool and Supply, 50732 Sabrina Drive, located on the south side of 23 Mile between Shaner and Hayes, subject to a submission of a revised site plan addressing all department comments.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner DeSico, supported by Commissioner Meredith. Any questions on the motion? I have one. Do we need to put in the motion, Mrs. Misich, about the required variances by the ZBA?
Yes. Are you going to seek a variance? Did you decide?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Per your recommendation, we concur with your recommendation. We will
Okay.
proceed to get that variance.
Okay, that's fine.
So amend my motion that they're going to seek a variance and that needs to be, seek approval.
From the
with this.
ZBA.
Recommend approval.
Recommend, yeah, do we want to recommend approval?
Recommend.
Sure,
Recommend approval, and
amend approval.
Mr. Meredith?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions, more questions on the motion? Hearing none, Commissioner DeSico.
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith.
Yes.
Commissioner Dallo.
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Commissioner Apone.
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion carries.
Thank you very much
You're welcome.
for your favorable
Good luck.
decision.
Did you sign in? Oh, yeah. Did you? Okay, thank you. At least we got one. And under old business, we have site plan number 19-19, Mark Kosaki of Concord Properties, west side of Van Dyke, north of 23 Mile Road. It's a 4,107 square foot, single-story professional office building modification. Julie?
Yes. Chairman, this site was approved by you back in August 2019, of course, just a couple months ago, or last month. They had access to the site from an access drive to the north of this building. Currently, the owner and the seller are having some issues, and they are not able to come to an agreement with providing access to the site. So what happened was, there was an existing driveway to the site on the south side of the property, but it was a residential driveway. The owner of this financial building went and talked to Macomb County Road Commission. They approved him to access the site off that driveway. However, that he's going to have to improve it to a commercial status driveway. He's gotten the approval from the Department of Roads, so I just wanted the commission, if they're okay with this modification, to have another driveway. Of course, since he's got Macomb County Road Commission approval, I don't see a problem with him closing off the access to the north then.
Okay. Any commissioners have any questions on that? Okay, if not, a motion would be in order.
Mr. Turner,
Go ahead, Mr. Dallow.
I move to approve a revised site plan 1919 Mark Kozanki Concord Property LLC, parcel number 2307-16426-019, west side of Van Dyke, north of 23, subject to the submission or a revised site plan, addressing all department and engineering comments.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Dallow, supported by Commissioner DeSico. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Commissioner Dallow?
Yes.
Commissioner DeSico?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Apone?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion carries. Anything on your report, Julie?
No, I don't have anything, Chairman.
All right. Nobody in the audience I see, so Mr. Dallow.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Turner.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.
Among Shelby Township's greatest assets are the world-class recreational opportunities it provides to residents. Within its borders, the township offers more than 1,100 acres in township parks, sports fields, playgrounds, and trails. Shelby Township provides an escape for nature lovers with many of its parks. Home to more than 100 species of native birds and animals, including nesting American bald eagles, and more than 80 species of trees, shrubs, wildflowers, it's hard not to fall for the township's beauty. Along with its parks and recreation facilities and programs, Shelby Township is home to Cherry Creek Golf Club, one of the finest public golf and banquet destinations in Michigan. The township also shares the 4,000-acre Stony Creek Metro Park, which is home to the beautiful and tranquil 500-acre Stony Creek Lake. Shelby Township also hosts part of the Macomb Orchard Trail, a 24-mile hike and bike path that connects 180 miles of trails across southeastern Michigan. Shelby Township's parks and access to the Clinton River are the heart of what makes the township a better place to play. Add the township's hundreds of miles of hiking and biking trails, and it's easy to recognize Shelby Township's access and opportunity for recreation are like no other places in the region. Among these trails is the westernmost portion of the Macomb Orchard Trail, which spans from the township's western border and ends in downtown Richmond. There are also trails that connect the township's 800-acre Riverbends Park to Lake St. Clair. Shelby Township is also home to a key connection of the Macomb County 70-mile trail loop and the planned Iron Bell Bike Trail, which will ultimately connect the city of Detroit to the state of Wisconsin. Shelby Township's trails offer residents and visitors a scenic mix of up-north hikes and great asphalt bike paths. All of these amenities ensure that no matter what your outdoor interests might be, there is a place in Shelby Township for you and your family. A better place.
Will also be joined by guitarist Fareed Haq and bassoonist Paul Hansen. Tickets for Billy Cobham on September 28th are available now at musichall.org or Ticketmaster.com.
Support for WRCJ is provided by the War Memorial in Grosse Pointe Farms, presenting Midnight at the Masquerade, a live, interactive dinner experience. Gather with friends and other guests on Thursday, October 24th as you search for clues, questioning and uncovering the guilty party to save the night. A sinful...
Shelby Township's Riverbends Park is a fantastic community resource filled with rich wildlife and entertaining activities. Bittersweet Shelter, Hickory Grove Shelter, and Mapleview Shelter are all available to rent and are the perfect place for grad parties, birthday parties, family reunions, and more. Each pavilion includes a barbecue grill, picnic tables, and electrical outlets with access to water, restrooms, volleyball courts, and horseshoe pits. This park also features the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center, a disc golf course, and a number of trails, along with a skate park and playscapes. With a wide variety of activities and amenities, Riverbends Park provides something for everyone to enjoy the great outdoors. To reserve a pavilion, call the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Office at 586-731-0300. All reservations are made on a first-come, first-served basis and cannot be held without full payment.